guys, this is going to be pretty entertaining. This is going to be a funny one. We're going to tackle why here in China people are refunding and canceling their i8 orders and switching to the ONVO L90, which is pretty interesting and very hilarious if you ask me. So let's start off with the funny thing. So when they launched the Li Auto i8, they had this promotional footage to demonstrate the safetiness of the car, where they had the i8 crash into a 8-ton truck head on, and look at the results. I mean, the result looked pretty shocking. But to most people, that kind of defies the laws of physics. I mean, you got an 8-ton truck versus a 2.5-ton car. Physics tells you that the truck should absolutely destroy that little car, right? It's just a momentum. 8-ton truck has way more momentum than a 2.5-ton vehicle. And they had that the cockpit of the truck flip basically, and this also got Li Auto in a bit of heat, because the truck company that sells those trucks, they got really upset and pissed, and they're suing Li Auto because their trucks, it kind of shows that their truck isn't even tough. It's weak almost. And people were commenting on the official website and blogs about that truck company, and that truck company was also very upset. They're suing Li Auto. And of course, this has led to a lot of parodies. All right, some of them I'll show you, just very funny, physics defying. All right, you have a little car, comes a little tricycle, bam, the truck, massive damage, very little damage to the bicycle. There's also some crazy one where you got that car versus the aircraft carrier, man. Yeah, it's so damn safe that you can use it as a missile, right? An aircraft carrier can't even withstand the damn car, right? You got excellent safety. And yeah, so even Superman can't handle that toughness, man. So these are pretty damn funny, all right? And it's becoming a meme here in China, basically. Very funny. And what seems to have happened is that there's a latch that's supposed to keep the cockpit locked in and not flip open. And maybe that latch was, unscrewed, or maybe it was open. We're not too sure, but the truck company is pissed. Anybody that knows physics thinks this is absurd. So it is what it is. Definitely becoming very viral here in China, creating a lot of attention. Whether it's good or bad, yeah, I'd say it's more of a what the hell's going on kind of attention. But why? That's not the main reason people are canceling their i8 orders. The main reason is still the value proposition of the car, all right? The base model of that car, 320,000 RMB, doesn't even have the fridge, doesn't even have the TV, right? People have actually commented that's why they're canceling the car. If you want the fridge, you have to go to the middle tier, which is the max version, and that's at 350,000. And then if you want the TV, you gotta get to the most highest level, all right, the ultra version, which is 370,000 starting price, and then you do some customizations, and the price of the car is all of a sudden 400,000 RMB, which is just absolutely not cheap, basically. So a lot of people have been arguing, this is just if you want the things you want, you're gonna have to pay top bucks for it. You have to buy the max spec, basically. And what's even more infuriating, apparently, during the launch event, they talked for like an hour about their sort of VLA, sort of their AI world model for autonomous driving, but that can only be used in the top 2-tier models, the Max and the Ultra, and not the entry-level Pro, because the Max and Ultra uses the Thor chip, NVIDIA Thor chips, and then the entry-level uses like a different, much cheaper, less processing power chip that cannot use the autonomous driving world model. So basically, if you buy the entry-level car, it's just sofa, you don't have the fridge, you don't have the TV, you don't have the autonomous driving, you don't have the better autonomous driving chip. So yeah, people were like, hell nah, man. Whereas with the ONVO L90, if you max spec it, right, you pay for all the options. It's still less, it's still cheaper than the entry level price of the i8. So the most spec'd out L90 that you can get, the most amount of money you can pay, you get the extra for the colors, the side steps for the car, you pay for all the extra stuff. It's still cheaper. It's around 318,000 RMB. Yeah, that's the maximum you can pay for an ONVO L90. It's still cheaper than the i8. So the value proposition of this is just absolutely crazy, right? The L90 is much more bang for the buck, and not to mention the material and the storage, which, you know, it kind of seems that Li Auto sales reps have become very desperate. And here are some more leaked conversations that Li Auto sales reps have said, and this is pretty shocking as well. And he's kind of admitting in this chat, he's kind of admitting that yes, you know, the frunk is very spacious. It's there's multiple uses for it, but once again, they have to resort to personal attacks against the company, saying that you know, this car for L90, if it succeeds, it might save NIO. If it doesn't, then NIO might go under, and you know, you don't want to be driving a car where you have no service and aftermarket stuff, yada, yada, yada. Sort of having to resort to the balance sheet, to attack the balance sheet of the company, to highlight the fact that NIO is losing a lot of money. And they have to resort to that kind of attack to convince people to buy an i8, which is kind of crazy to think about it. But, you know, looking at it objectively, a lot of customers, you know, you have a lot of die-hard Li Auto fans out there. And it has been exposed that in some of the certain groups, even they were quite pissed at the pricing of the i8 because they wanted to end NIO. Yeah, those Li Auto guys, fanboys, diehard, hardcore fans wanted to end NIO. And they were upset that the i8 pricing was too high. They wanted it to be cheaper so that they can just totally destroy NIO once and for all. What the hell, right? I've read that and I'm like, oh my god, damn. I mean, like, go back to drinking the gasoline, man. You need some more of that. And a lot of people have said, just online people have said, when it comes to hybrids, EREVs, undoubtedly Li Auto is the king. You go for Li Auto, no question asked. All right, but if you want to buy an EV, pure electric vehicle, you go for a NIO. So I think they said it pretty well. Li Auto is known for the EREVs. You know, their EV value wise, not exactly a huge bang for the buck. And you know, they've also developing stuff like the robotic charging arm at the charging station, sort of to be able to autonomously charge. But the situation with that is, you know, people were commenting all down there like, if you're going to do the robotic arm, why not just do battery swap? And there's already so many battery swap stations out there, and they're just reluctant to join in on NIO's battery swap network. But this is very interesting. I mean, the parodies, they just keep coming, man. I keep on seeing some of these like really funny ones, man. And they're definitely in some trouble with that truck company. That truck company actually wants to do a test themselves. All right, and they're like, they said, I'll sit in the car, you guys sit in your car, we're gonna crash. Whoever breaks first is the, yeah, you know what. So yeah, pretty interesting. And also a lot of people in the trucking community here in China, like people that do long range shipping, these guys were also pissed because they're like, you serious? You really think that that 2.5 ton car is going to be able to beat a 8-ton vehicle in a head-on collision? Yeah. So are they trying to trick you guys, trick everybody? Or is there something that they did? I don't know. All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.